Hi there. I'd just like to offer a couple of suggestions for our posture and our alignment. We all have bad habits with our posture and our alignment, and sometimes just a reminder to come back into that central line can be helpful. So as an example, I'd like you to walk up and down on the spot and kind of loosen your body out a little bit, and then just flop yourself in your worst position, in your most sort of subconscious, not thinking about it position, like you were standing in a queue or standing on the phone or something like that. So for me, as an example, I turn my hip, my knee, my foot out, my belly is relaxed. My hip drops on one side, and this means that my spine is curving and my shoulders then misaligning in order to balance out my body and keep me upright. And then I'll exaggerate it, but then my neck is going to do the same thing. It's short on one side, long on the other side. So you can suddenly see like all this misalignment. And if I repeat this posture again and again, my muscles, my connective tissue, and my bones are going to create this shape. And we don't want that. I don't want that. So there are some simple tips to bring ourselves back into alignment. And firstly, I'll run through the standing position tips, and then I'll take you through the seated tips, and hopefully that will help. So before you move in any way, can you bring yourself to standing? Bring your feet hip width apart, and make sure that your feet are parallel and pointing forward. We all have misalignment of turning our toes out, turning our toes in. So look at your feet. Bring them parallel. Then start by lifting your toes and see if you can press down into the four corners of your feet. So you press them down and you press them slightly apart. And this is going to neutralize and secure your pelvis. And the pelvis can take on a lot of misalignment. So that's where you want to realign. Then I'm going to ask you to knit your belly in towards the midline and gather up your pelvic floor like you're zipping up a zip. Then bring your awareness onto your spine and lift and lengthen all the way up through the spine, all the way up to the crown of the head. And you could even go beyond. So you could imagine you have a string lifting you up further through the crown of your head. Bring your chin parallel to the floor. The shoulders are going to roll up and down the back, and then the back of the head lines up with the sacrum. And you might feel a bit strange like this because we've been used to our bad positioning, but look how much power and strength that your body has compared to this. It's real alignment. It's where the body is at its most happy. It might not feel comfortable to start with. That's just because we need to repeat it so our muscles, bones, connective tissue all take on this balanced and aligned shape. And then we can go forward and move, knowing our body is in the right position. I'm now just going to show you a seated position quickly. So if you grab a chair, and come and sit down. We spend a lot of time seated in the West at our desks, in our cars, on our sofas at the end of the day. And so I'm going to go for my bad alignment again, and I'm going to slump. I've got one leg out to the side, my spine is rounded, my chin is jutted forward, shoulders round, belly relaxed again. And this is, at the moment pretty comfy to watch telly, to drive, to do any of these things. So I'll take you through the steps to realign. So start by bringing your feet flat on the ground. Try and make sure you sit on a hard chair as well. Bring your feet flat on the ground, feet parallel, same as before. Then bring your awareness to your bum and just notice whether you're leaning over on one side or the other side a bit more, which means you're slumping, and it means your spine is curving in one direction or the other. So evenly distribute the weight on both glutes, on both bum cheeks. If you feel like you're rounding your lower back at all here, just take hold of your bum, pull your bum back a little bit, and you'll feel like you root down into your sit bones a little bit more. Bring your awareness now onto your spine, lift and lengthen all the way up through the vertebra to the crown of the head and beyond. Chin parallel, back of the head in line, again with your tailbone, same as before, shoulders roll back. And again, this alignment is quite profound, it's quite powerful. Now the last little thing I want to mention is how you set your desk up. So is your computer over here and your mouse over here and your coffee over here? If so, can you pull it, or your kitchen, utensils if you're standing, can you pull them so they are in front of you so that you can keep this nice alignment as you work, or you can keep this nice alignment as you stand in your kitchen and you do your chopping and all those things. You want a nice high table so that you lift yourself up and that we're not slumped like this. I hope those tips helped to remind you about how important posture is, and you can jot down the ones that made sense to you and that resonated with you. Maybe stick them on your fridge or stick them on your computer or somewhere that you tend to fall into bad habits. Maybe by your steering wheel, where we fall into bad habits. Just remind yourself. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope that was helpful. Take care. Bye.